All right, let's do this. I have some explaining to do, I have some coffee to drink, and I have some flies to show you. All right, let's start from the beginning. I'll explain this. Not really much to explain. I was out on my BMX bike, having fun with the guys. First day of the season, having a good day riding, especially for the first day in months because of winter. Towards the end of the day, we were just messing around with some stuff, and unfortunately, I had dislocated my ring finger, and I broke a bone about right here on that side of your palm, right? So, bit of a comedy of errors, how it all happened and what happened afterwards. But, long story short, I'm off to see the plastic surgeon this week. Looks like there's going to be some surgery. So anyway, sucks to be me. So that explains where I've been for the last little while and why there hasn't been any content. I did do some early season fishing. The sea trout season has been open since February 1st. It's a miserable time to film. It's not very enjoyable on the other side of the camera. The weather in Newfoundland between February, mid-March to April, usually windy, cold, drizzly, or snowing. Like it's no fun. Hello puppies. Oh, I got two puppies. So what have I been doing in the meantime? I've been tying flies. So I've been tying some small flies for this time of year, and fortunately, one of the patterns I use faithfully this time of year, to the point where if I tie one on and it doesn't work, I'll take it off and tie another one on. I use them all year round. They're just a great little fly. Where we are, we have a very large population of little black flies. So what we do is we tie the simplest little fly possible that imitates that, right? I used to do them with just straight up black thread on the hook and a bit of hackle, but the thread gets smashed pretty quick because these flies get chewed up. The nice thing is you need 2 bits of material, and other than that, it literally takes a minute and a half to tie. In my case, I don't think a minute and a half is going to be very achievable. So, but we'll try. I'm going to show you how all this works. It's a stupid simple fly. You should have them in your box. So let's get into it. Okay. You got a size 12 hook. This is just a must-add size 12 dry fly hook. Nothing fancy. This is the fun part, trying to get the jaws open on the vise with 1 or 2 fingers in an awkward position. It's tough. I was doing it the other day though, one hand, there we go. Now, you can use whatever thread of your choice you would like to use. Right now, I'm going to use whatever is on right here. And I think it's just 6/0 black thread. Probably should do 8/0, but that's it. So, usual way of tying a fly, get your thread on. Just go back down to the hook point, somewhere in that vicinity. Now, if you want to build up the body of this fly at all, do it now before you apply the first bit of material. I'm going to go back up once. I'm going to leave a bit of room by the head and come back towards the hook point. Now, let's talk about our materials. I'm going to use a bit of this. This is just some black, maybe some rooster hackle maybe. But it's pretty small, and it wraps really nice around the hook, and it tends to keep the head of that fly buoyant pretty well. As for the body, just going to use some uni mylar in a number 14. Generally I would peel off probably a usable piece that I could tie 2 or 3 flies with. So I cut down on my waste, but today we're just gonna use the one strip, and if there's enough left over, I'll tie a second one, or maybe I'll do the bead head version. So we're gonna tie that down, secure that as best as you can. And then all you do is just wrap your silver body on. It's pretty simple. I usually start behind the thread so that it builds up to meet the diameter of the thread. And that just makes for a nice clean look, I find. And the mylar doesn't slip over different contours of the thread. It tends to hold tight. Now you can put head cement below this. You can put crazy glue below this. You can do whatever you want, really. It's up to yourself. Because these take so little time to tie and so little material, I don't bother. I'll just take a knife to the hook. I'll save them up, and after the year or the season, I'll just go in, and one boring day I'll take the hook down the side of a blade for an hour and clean up all my old flies, and then I got a bunch of old hooks I can use, and you know, waste not, want not. Now your body's done. And as far as your hackle, I use the base of the stem to start. Tear off some of the fibers. So you just take your thumb and your fingernail and rip down the stem, and you'll see, you'll clear off that stem there. And then we just trim it down so you're able to secure it to your hook. There you go, it's on there. Give it a couple of more wraps towards the back. Now this is the fun part, because with this, the cast makes this part a little interesting. But anyway, just start winding. I usually come back behind my last little bit of black thread here. So I'll kind of start the wind on a bit of an angle, and just to make sure everything sits right up behind where I left the thread. And that, to me, gives it a bit of a, kind of an anchor point. When you pull that a little bit, it doesn't move anywhere. It got something to rest on. And then from there, you just wrap. And you can use your fingers and straighten them back. But this particular feather I use tends to stand upright pretty good. So you just wrap that up, and remembering the little space you left at the eye of your hook, that allows you to get your head on there. This is also a fun part with the cast, is trying to secure everything down. And there you go. Give the feather a little tug and she'll snap. Again, this type of fly don't gotta be pretty. It can be pretty ugly, and it probably will work better. I'm just fixing a few little pieces there I had shagged up. And that's pretty much it. Again, I wish my cast wasn't on, because I'd do this with a timer and show you could do it so fast. And then I just half hitch it a couple of times. I don't get fancy with a whip finisher. That's not really not my style per se. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Make sure your thread's good and snug. Come up underneath. I don't cut, I just use the scissors and run it along like a blade. And then you can get your head cement. Touch one side, the other, the top, the bottom. Woo! And then from there, just give your eyelet a poke. Make sure you don't get any head cement down there, because I'm sure with my club fist, I got some in there. And that, my friends, I can't even do it. I'll do it this way. And that there is what you want in your box if you're fishing for brook trout, brown trout. They work on rainbows and winternish as well, right? So here in Newfoundland, that fly there is unbelievable. And there you have it. My little favorite fly to have in my box any time of year. There's at least a half a dozen of those guys in my fly box. Nonetheless, I want to say thank you to all you guys who hit that subscribe button. I just wanted to put a quick little video up explaining where I've been, where we're going, and what we're doing. And throw a fly up for fun, something that I use, because if you guys are out there and you're tying your own flies, 2 bits of material, and you're off to the races with that guy. Any questions, by all means, leave them in the comments. Any flies you want to see me tie or try or any of that, by all means, make a suggestion. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll update you on what happens with the hand. Thanks, guys. See you later.